Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss our question count of all subarrays with zero sum. It's just a variation of our last question, so if you have not watched the video of our last question, I recommend you to go watch that video and then come to this video. So now let's understand our question. In input we are given an array, we are required to find all the count of all of the subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. Count of all the subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. Right? So let's discuss. So let's see some subarray whose sum is equal to 0. So one potential is here at our first index and second index, that is -2 plus 2, that gives you 0. Right? So what will be our count? Our count will be here, will be equal to 1. We are required to find the total count. That means total number of subarrays that exist in our array whose sum is equal to 0. Perfect. So this is simply the variation of our last question. So what we did in our last question, let's see. We calculated sum, right? Also we used a hash map where what we were storing is the sum and its previous index, right? But this time there is a variation to it. The earlier what we were storing in our hash map was, let's call it our map, right? What we were storing is a sum and its index, right? But this time there's a twist to it. Let's see. Okay, so here my sum is 15. I'm gonna store it. Okay, now here my sum becomes 13, right? Okay, now from starting from here, let's see what we are gonna do. So my sum becomes 15, right? Okay, my sum becomes 15. So what I'm gonna do this time is every time I get a new element, I'm gonna add it in my hash map. Like, let me show you from the start, right? Let me show you from the start that what we will be doing. So here my sum is 15. So I'm the 0 index. I'm gonna also add a, not index. This time I'm gonna add, you can say it's occurrence, number of occurrence, right? Occurrence. So here it's 15 and its occurrence 1, right? So sum is 15 and occurrence 1, right? Here the sum is 13, its occurrence 1. Here what is the sum? It's 15. Now it's the same as before, right? So if my map already contains 15, I'm going to increase my count to 1. And what I'm going to do with my occurrence, I'm going to set it to 2. You're going to understand why I am abating it to 2. Okay, let's continue with this. Now my sum is going to 7, its new value. So what will be its occurrence, right? Here occurrence, it's going to be 1. Then it's 8, it's also going to be 1, right? Now it is 15 again. Now it's the important point. Okay, it's 15. So as we know, we are going to check our hash map. So what's the occurrence of our 15? That is 2, right? So this time what we will add in our count, guess what? We are going to add in our count this 2. Why is that? Because our 15 got multiple subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. One is what? One is this, right? And one is this 2, right? There are two options. So so what will be my count? My count will be, my count will be equal to 2. So 1 plus 2, that is going to give me 3, right? Again I want to tell you why is that. Okay, so earlier we got 15, right? So here, right? So here 2 minus 2, that was 0, that was one subarray, right? Now here we got two options. One subarray is starting from here till here, right? Its sum is equal to 0, and one more starting from here till here. As you can see, sum is also 0. So 1 plus 2 count is equal to 3. Okay, and now what I'm gonna add here, guess what? I'm gonna simply add this time plus 1. So occurrence will be 3. Now my sum is going to become 25. Perfect. And with occurrence 1. Then it's going to become 48 here with occurrence 1. Then here it's going to become 28 with what occurrence? 1, right? Now it is 20 and it is 36 28 plus 8, 36, the occurrence 1. Okay, so now let's see what happens. So we get 36 minus 27, 29, that is 7, right? So we see 7 is already present. So what we are going to do, increase our count, right? So our count will increase 3 plus 1 and it's going to become 4, and 7 we are going to add 2. So how many number of sub-arrays present in our array is equal to 4. Our answer is equal to 4. So that's simple logic that we are going to do. So now let's do it. Okay, simple. So we will be needing a hash map, of course. Let's create a hash map. What we will be storing in our hash map is the sum and its occurrence, right? Its occurrence. I'm gonna call it map. Okay, let me create some space. Perfect. We'll do new hash map. Now, I'll be needing a sum variable and a count variable. So let me initialize it. Sum and count. Now, similarly, like the last question, we are going to traverse our array. I is less than array dot length, I plus plus. Now here I want to discuss an important case with you. Okay, so for that we are gonna check this array. Okay, so what I want to tell you is I will calculate this array sum so that you understand something that I am trying to convey. Okay, so let's see. Its sum here is 3, 1, 2, 5, again 1, 2, 1, right? 8, 1, now it's 2. Okay, it's 2 and 2 is already present. So count will be here is equal to 1 and its occurrence is going to be 2. Now here, its sum becomes 0. So what happens if sum is equal to 0? If sum is equal to 0, you are gonna do nothing. You are gonna simply increase your count. Your count will get increased, right? Your count will get increased to 2. So that's what we are gonna do. So first, let's add our sum. Sum plus equal to array of I. What if sum is equal to 0? If sum is equal to 0, we are going to simply increase our count. Okay. Else, right? If sum is not equal to 0, what we are going to check? If our map contains what? If our map contains sum, right? There are two cases whether our map contains sum or not. So map dot contains key sum is equal to false. Then what we are going to do? What we used to do last time. We are going to simply put sum and the occurrence this time. So it is going to be 1. Else, what is going to happen? First, we are going to increase our count. Count will be what? Whatever. This is the thing I was working out. Why the occurrence is important. So count plus equal to map dot get sum. Alright. So that's why your occurrence is important. And now what we are going to do, increase our occurrence, right? That's the case when we get an element that was already present. Map dot get sum plus 1. Perfect. And then what we are going to return is our count. So I think that's our code. Now let's try running it. Giving error, hash map integer equal to new hash map. Cannot find a symbol. Let's see which. Okay, here it should be caps lock. Okay, is there any more error? Okay, let's run it. Accepted. Perfect. Now let's try submitting it. Submitted. So that's it for this video. If you liked this, do not forget to like, comment and share. Thanks for watching.